Let me give few insight on ransomware. It really help people or any other support people. In cryptography, encryption is the process of encoding a file folder directory sectors or information in such a way that only authorized parties can access it and those who are not authorized cannot. Encryption does not itself prevent interference but denies the intelligible content to a would-be interceptor. Encryption is the process of converting normal message, plain text, into meaningless message, ciphertext. Whereas decryption is the process of converting meaningless message, ciphertext, into its original form, plain text. Encryption is a process which transforms the original information into an unrecognizable form. This new form of the message is entirely different from the original message. That's why a hacker is not able to read the data as senders use an encryption algorithm. Encryption is usually done using key algorithms. Data is encrypted to make it safe from stealing. However, many known companies also encrypt data to keep their trade secret from their competitors. Ransomware is a form of malware that encrypts a victim's files. The attacker then demands a ransom from the victim to restore access to the data upon payment. Users are shown instructions for how to pay a fee to get the decryption key. The costs can range from a few $100s to thousands, payable to cybercriminals in Bitcoin. There are several vectors ransomware can take to access a computer. One. Common delivery systems is phishing spam, attachments that come to the victim in an email, masquerading as a file they should trust. Once they're downloaded and opened, they can take over the victim's computer, especially if they have built-in social engineering tools that trick users into allowing administrative access. 2. More aggressive forms of ransomware, like NotPetya, exploit security holes to infect computers without needing to trick users. Myth number 1, firewall. Data is 100% safe from ransomware attacks. Myth number 2, keep second copy of data on attached NAS box or storage box, server. Only large companies are preferred by cybercriminals. Ransomware isn't a problem if you've got backups. Ransomware only affects Windows PCs. If you pay the ransom, you'll get your data back. In few cases people even after paying haven't got the data. Our antivirus or protection will protect us from all threats. Majority security or defense system failed and infected with ransomware virus. Administrator follow best practices all the time, every time. Still with all best practices people are affected. Initially people think using local authorities help, encrypted data will be recovered, but after few days come to know it is all myth and wrong promises. Always in dual mind, should you pay the ransom? When speaking theoretically, most law enforcement agencies urge you not to pay ransomware attackers, on the logic that doing so only encourages hackers to create more ransomware. Or start doing a cost-benefit analysis, weighing the price of the ransom against the value of the encrypted data. Ransomware attackers keep prices relatively low, usually between $700 and $1,300, an amount companies can usually afford to pay on short notice. Some particularly sophisticated malware will detect the country where the infected computer is running and adjust the ransom to match that nation's economy, demanding more from companies in rich countries and less from those in poor regions. There are a couple of tricky things to remember here, keeping in mind that the people you're dealing with are, of course, criminals. Paying the attackers doesn't guarantee that you'll get your files back. Approximately around 65 to 70% of the time, the crooks come through and your data is restored. Go ahead for best suitable option, do not pay for ransom. Process after paid ransom, tips. Would recommend before to proceed for decryption do clone or image, sector to sector, in 2 copies of the device affected. Do keep in mind decryption for 500 GB take approximately 3 to 8 hours depending on storage speed, memory and complexity of encryption. Finally, keep safe customers' decrypted data and start the work. It is in cheerful moment. I would like say sorry in advance for next slide. Many may not agree, but reality is, according to my view, they had really show how secured you are. And they have taken fees or penalized. Appreciated the hacker who made you victim, otherwise you would have never checked. Security loophole. Backup is not in place. What you are spending on your security or protection measure is all waste. Few sites offer free decryption tools which are really helpful. Do first check the sites so that you don't have to pay ransom. Let me tell you about me. I am Jayesh Boradia, Data Recovery Specialist, and Cyber Law. You can visit my site called www.9833348884.com. Or you can WhatsApp me on 982 111 5838.